Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It's your old pal Van Dweller, and we're back with another installment of Classic Tetris Monthly Das Masters January 2025. And I am pretty excited for this bracket because I think it's pretty exciting. So I'm excited for something that is exciting. I think that's logical. We're going to play the top half of the preliminary rounds of the orange bracket here in Das Masters. That means match number 1 and number 9. First match going to be Tommy NTG, a former CTM Masters event winner. He'll be taking on Rookout Rogue, aka Matt Martin, a 2019 top 8 CTWC finisher and a perennial threat in any DAS tournament. Also one of the few people to have a DAS 1.3. And the winner of that match will be taking on MYLES of TikTok fame. Everybody knows MYLES and the MYLES dig and when you think it's over and all that. Tommy NTG versus Matt Martin taking on MYLES. And the winner of this whole thing gets the privilege later this month of taking on the number 1 seed and the reigning Jonas Cup champion, Fractal. So that's your reward for making it out of this prelim bracket alive. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at our rules real quick for Das Masters. 32 players, single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified, except in the ways that we ask you to modify them. Players can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether mechanical, electronical, or biological. No turbo whatsoever. You must use no turbo whatsoever. Players should not receive any real-time advice and do not pause unless the commentator tells you. Level 18 starts all the way through Das Masters. We will be using the same piece sets, so we'll be re-rolling in between each game of the match. Players, if you are hearing me right now, make sure your hertz and input displays are turned on. Hertz and input display. Also, players, make sure throughout the tournament you heed the spirit of DAS. This is a DAS tournament, not a DAS mimicking tournament where you tap 9 hertz all the way through. 1 and 2 taps in the middle of the board, unrestricted. The occasional 3 tap scramble, we're not going to penalize you for. 4 and 5 taps, absolutely do not do that. Best of 5 throughout this whole thing, and the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which currently stands at a whopping $28.44. $28.44. So that, that's inspiring to the players, right? If you want to make that, why are they? Look at how the titles are like slightly different. They're like kerning is weird. I don't know. Anyway. Yes, if you want to make that prize pool bigger, if you want Das Masters to continue, players are nice. They love competing, but they're not going to come out every single month for free. I mean, some of them might, but some of them won't. So if you want them to continue to come out for this Das Masters tournament, put your dollars where your mouth is, I guess, and contribute to the prize pool. If you're watching live right now, use the Matcherino command in chat. That'll bring up 2 links, the second of which is the Das Masters prize pool link. Click on that. You'll be brought to the landing page for the Matcherino tournament, or the Matcherino whatever. The landing page for the tournament on Matcherino. There it is. It's a 2-click login if you've got a Twitch or YouTube account. Easy. Once you're logged in, the top right-hand corner, it will say contribute. And actually, we have some codes. Some contribution codes still pending. 9 left, and I know we've got more than 9 people watching right now, so please head on over to the Matcherino. Someone wants to pop that link into the chat. That would be great. Use the Matcherino link. Get over there. Claim the code. 9 left. It's free. It costs you nothing. You just click on it, and Matcherino kicks in 25 cents into the prize pool. 9 left, my guys, so let us go ahead and do that. And if you want, you know, why do you want this to get bigger? One, right now we're only paying the top 4 out of these 32 players. Holy crap. Which is fine. But if you want to make sure that we can pay the top 8, then let's get to our $1,000 incentive. $1,000 incentive will ensure that we can pay the top 8 players in the tournament. And that is a very motivating thing for the players to know that they can win a couple of games and get into the prize pool, which is great. All right. Yes, if you want to support the channel, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/monthly Tetris, to provide us the ongoing, regular, predictable revenue that gives us the signal and the resources that are needed for us to continue. Thank you to Scott Gray 76, K9 watching Tetris, Tacnerus, Corporal 381 shall be satisfied, Cat 91 J in the window, Troy Dan, Kim S, and our sticker and double sticker club level members and our community level members. Thank you very much for your support. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Take a look at our players. Oh my God, look at this. Most handsome group of players you've ever seen. Tommy NTG and Matt Martin, the coolest looking guys in all of Tetris. Wow, look at them. My word. All right, I'm going to refresh their streams real quick. Just make sure that we've got them synced up. There we go. Good. Excellent. So players, I'm ready if you are ready. So in a moment, I will give you your pieces so that you can put your pieces into the Tetris. Thank you for redeeming the code. Scott Gray 76, really appreciate that. Mike Gway, Kitticott, Sonic the Screw, Chen, the Swedish Chef have all redeemed codes. Really? Oh my God, it's Scott Gray. It just dropped in $500 into the prize pool, getting us halfway to our $1,000 incentive, which will allow us to pay the top 8. Scott Gray can't do it alone, so please, the rest of you, jump in there. $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever you can spare in support of, well, in support of what? Don't do it for my sake, do it for your sake. You like this thing going on every single month? Well, support it. Make sure it continues. Thank you so much, Scott Gray. Very, very generous. Also, Scott kicked in earlier today a big chunk of our prize pool for Masters as well. So thank you so much, Scott Gray 76, for your ongoing support. Really amazing. Okay, players, I'm going to go ahead and give you your pieces so we can get this underway. No, that's the right one. There we go. Pieces are going to be 6-7 CD B3, 6-7 Charlie Delta B3, 6-7 CD B3. Oma Red Star is here. So maybe Scooty fam will drop in. I think Matt and Scooty family have gotten, friendly over the last year or so. I'm sure they'll be rooting on their friend Matt Martin. The rest of you Zoomers, I'm sure, rooting on Tommy NTG, because, Zoomers do be like that. All right, we got 6-7 CD B3, 6-7 CD B3. Hopefully both players have got their hertz and input displays turned on. I'm sure they do. Let us get them started. Tommy NTG and Matt Martin. 3-2-1 Tetris. It's a pretty cool matchup. I think we're going to start off with the JLO. Starting off with the JLO opening pieces. Tommy NTG, a former CTM Masters event winner and a runner-up in Mega Masters, was it 2023? Maybe it was 2022. I don't remember. 2020. One of these Mega Masters, he was a runner-up in that. Tommy NTG qualifying in 17 seed out of the USA. Just one out of those top 16s. Could have skipped around, but ended up 17 is a pretty tough spot because he's like, oh, if it was just a little higher, I could have skipped round one. But nope, you got to play seed 17 out of the USA with a PB of 1.21 million, good for 43 on the overall DAS leaderboard. On the right side, it is Matt Martin. He's at 73,000. Tommy at 36,000. A little bit of a slow start for Tommy. Matt, a perennial participant and threat in DAS tournaments for the last 5-6 years now, came into prominence after winning my first ever live event, the what was it called? The Southern Qualifier in Irving, Texas in 2019. That was the first event I ever put on live. And came out of obscurity, or just a random postal worker came in and destroyed some pretty good players at Tetris, Jake Stein and Josh Tolles and others, and won that event, won his way to CTWC 2019, where he came in 8th, or in the top 8. Sorry, I don't know exact placement, but he was in the top 8, and he took out both Harry Hong and Matt Bucco. So Matt Martin with a great pedigree in the sport of classic Tetris. 235 for Matt Martin, 157 for Tommy. Matt gets a Tetris. All right, Tommy gets a long bar down for Tetris. Now, this is a DAS tournament, everybody. DAS Masters. You'll see on the screen we do have a display which will show you the inputs of the players, both their directional inputs and their B and A rotational inputs, as well as the Hertz display, and that's sort of a check that we have to ensure that players are not tapping. You will see a Hertz display on there, and it will change only when they actuate or execute a tap. I think it's multiple taps have to be, I think it's 2 taps or something like that. So a quick tap won't do it necessarily, I don't think. I gotta look that up so I get that right every time. But yeah, so it will only change if they actually do tap, and then it will show the speed of those taps. We do allow 1 and 2 taps at any speed in the middle of the board. The occasional emergency 3 tap, but it should not be persistent. And then 4 and 5 taps, like really, it should not really be happening. 320 for Tommy, 363 for Matt Martin. We do allow 1 quick tap, no double quick taps. Oh, and Matt versus Batfoy. That was a legendary match in that 2019 CTWC. Batfoy did go on to make the top 4 after that match, but that was a legendary, super fun match. 409 for Matt Martin, 369 for Tommy NTG. And, you know, I kind of assumed that these players would not have played against each other, but that may not be correct. So let me just make sure. Where did my cursor go? There it is. And they have played 1 match against each other. So what was that in? Was that in a DAS Masters event? That was in Futures. Oh, that's true. I forgot that Futures exists. That was in Futures back in 2021. In January 21st, 2021, these players did play against each other. Tommy took that one way back in 2021. 493 for Matt Martin, 465 for Tommy NTG, but that's the only time they have faced each other. So I always like to see, at least in Masters or big, big events, I always like to see matchups that haven't really happened before. And I think this one counts as far as top tier tournaments. 505, Matt Martin setting up column 7 to transition into 19 at about 526, 27, something like that. 516 here for Tommy Longbar over Tetris. Transition at 540 for Tommy NTG. Another Tetris for Matt. We do start on level 18. There's 130 lines of that speed. The speed will increase by 50% at level 19. That'll last for 100 lines until level 29, where the speed will increase by 100%. And so that is virtually unsurvivable by anyone playing the DAS playstyle, unless you're Pixel Andy. And then I guess you can just play however long you want. All right, that left side for Tommy getting a little dicey here, so he's going to bring this down. Longbar over to the right side. Tetris 626. Matt at 621. So we are super close. And Matt with a skim here, trying to keep that well open. Longbar over Tetris. Matt 650. So we are close in lines and score. Just a few lines and a few thousand points separating these two players. Bang Tetris for Matt Martin. All right, Tommy with some gaps in the stack here. He's got to be careful of that left side of the board, so you just got to bring it down. Those of you who have just sort of joined the classic Tetris community on the back of maybe some of the achievements that have happened in, rolling and tapping and things like that. Maybe you haven't seen too many DAS competition games, but you will see that players have to be much more careful. They have to sort of get pieces over to the left lower. They have to keep their lefts lower. They can't stash pieces like 17 high on the right like you can if you're watching a roller. So players are going to play much lower. 765 for Tommy NTG. I can do words today. Tetris for Matt Martin, 18. We got ourselves a game here in game number 1. 818 for him, 796 for Tommy. So separated by less than a Tetris and just a few lines. And we are on max out pace for these players. Generally, if you get in a DAS game, or any game really, you can possibly max out if you're over 800 when you get into 26. So we'll see what happens with these players. This is a game. And of course, with DAS, it's much less forgiving for mistakes. It's a very punishing kind of play style. There's a Tetris for Matt Martin, 927 at 220. He's into level 28, just 10 lines to go until kill screen. Tommy's board starting to climb, takes a skim, gets a dirty Tetris, 877. Matt with another Tetris, 962. And Tommy is back by 80,000 points and not really in a position to score a lot of Tetrises here. So he may have to do something to have a shot and try to build up for 2, but this is going to be really hard, and Matt Martin is into 29 with a max out. And max outs are a big deal here in a DAS tournament, and Tommy doing the best he can to sort of clear out that left side, but he is not going to be able to catch up to Matt Martin. So Matt will take game number 1. GG's, great game. Oh, Chiller is here. What's up, Chiller? Scheduler extraordinaire, runs the lower tier tournaments now exclusively. Now I have nothing to do with him. Oh, it's magnificent. Anyway, thanks, Chiller. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. New pieces are going to be 4E, C7, BC, 4 Echo, Charlie 7, Bravo, Charlie. Scooty Mom is here. The whole Scooty fam shows up. Cheer on Matt Martin. What did I do for the lower tiers before? True, Kappa, right? Well, I did have to make all the scene exports and update all the data for that. And that took a long time, actually, doing the flags and the names and all that. Now I don't do anything. And I also just had to generally worry about it. Now I don't think about it. End flags? Well, we did. Players can do whatever they want. It's restreamed. 4E C7 BC, 4E C7. I also paid the super streamers. That's the other thing that I did. So I did fund it, Tetris. These are best of 5, Matt. Best of 5. 4E C7 BC. Both players ready. And they are on the same seeds. They're ready for game number 2. Let's get them started. Tommy NTG, Matt Martin, game number 2. Matt looking to go up 2-0. Tommy looking to tie it up 3-2-1 Tetris. All right, Tommy piling high there in columns 1 and 2. And I think that's the other thing you kind of see is in a DAS game, players will maybe have more exaggerated left to right slope on their stacks. You know, taking the opportunity to get pieces to the left when they can, when it's easy, when it's risk-free. Tommy going to think twice about that S flat instead, just going to take the burn. And that's another thing you will see is sometimes less creative, well, a lot of times less creative setups. It's hard to make adjustments because you have to recover DAS. DAS control is something that you have to maintain through precise inputs, and doing an adjustment can basically throw your DAS control into disarray. It's very complicated. But be that as it may, you will see fewer adjustments, not necessarily no adjustments, but as compared to a rolling match. So players have to stack a little bit more straightforwardly. Your wallet, I'm sorry, Tetris. It was just, I know. It was hard to, it wasn't sustainable. Maybe one day we can do it again. Maybe one day we can do it again. I'm hoping we get to that point. My goal is for next year to maybe have a way to do CTM the way we used to do it, but right now it's just not possible. 167 for Matt Martin, 171 for Tommy NTG. Tetris Tommy 195, 214 Matt Martin. Oh. I get it. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Well, believe me, my wallet was aware the entire time. 259 for Matt, 218 for Tommy. Anyway, we do have the 32-player flat bracket format back here in 2025. It was a success during its test run in DAS Masters. And it was such a success that we applied it to our regular Masters event, which is now 32 players every single month, which is the same as our original Mega Masters. It's like such a big deal. Wow, we're doubling the number of players in the thing. How are we ever gonna survive? All right, Matt with a tricky little tuck there, and that is a tough thing to do, to tuck on that right side in a DAS game, because you got to recover your DAS control or get a it's called a wall charge to maintain your DAS control. So he was able to do that. Board's starting to get a little spiry in the middle there, so gonna have to find a way to bring this down, build out that left side again. This year is no max out left behind, right? I would consider it. I don't know how we're gonna get all that done, and I don't know if we're gonna do it in a flat bracket format. Oh, there's a nice Z-spin for Matt on the right side. 362 for him, 362 for Tommy. I don't know that we can do it in a flat bracket format. We might have to do it in the, I don't know. We'll take a look at it. Top 64 double elim. All right, you got it, Hana. Is it competition legal to play this on the Switch NES simulator? I would say yes, it would be. But you've got to get it in stencil ready. You got to, you know, conform with the rest of the tournament guidelines. So I would say yes. That's without having thought about it too much, but I don't see why not. I mean, if you can play it on emulator, why not Switch? Tetris, Tommy, NTG, 439, 437 for Matt. I don't know if the kind of record keeping and the score record keeping for like high scores and things like that will accommodate Switch, but I don't see why not. It's not an advantage to play on the Switch, so we like to get people playing classic Tetris and whatever platform they can play it, but ultimately if you want to compete, I think at the highest levels, you do got to play on original console. Possibly on emulator, but still better on console. 531 for Tommy, 530 for Matt. We have been close the entire way. I mean, if we did no max out left behind for Mega Masters, wouldn't we have to do wouldn't we have to do just like it would take like 2 months. The issue with the Switch is no score uncap. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've got a point there. And I don't want to sit here and manually calculate every score in between every game. So if you're going to do it in the community tournament. Find out whether you like playing competitively or not. And if you do, then invest in a different setup. 567 for Matt here on level 20. 570 for Tommy NTG. All right, Matt takes a double here to skim away. Tommy with some cleanup to do in the middle of the stack. Make Switch users play through. Oh, that's actually a good thought. Make them play through Nestris champs. The problem is we don't have any insight into, I don't know, any modifications. I don't know how you would even modify it, but we like to not play through NTC because we want to see the raw feed. So I don't know. I'd have to think about it. If it gets to that point where someone is going to do that, then we'll think about it. 632 for Matt, 635 for Tommy. It's been close the entire way. The problem is we also can't play same piece sets. You can't use Tetris Gym, so you would have to play at the community level, I think. Or, one of those lower tiers. Left side for Tommy is going to be unsurvivable. 644 for him unless he can kind of get a bunch of L pieces, which are kind of goaded for that left side. And no, not going to be able to do it. Ekes out a couple other lines, 646. But Matt Martin is good in game number 2 and takes a 2-0 lead. You think Nintendo will add Tetris Gym for us? Oh, true. Maybe they can do it as DLC, right? A complex licensing scheme involving the Tetris company and everybody involved with Tetris Gym. Sorry, I just drank coffee directly into the mic. My apologies. All right, another good match. Tight the entire way. Let's get these players some new pieces. Here they are. 010486, 010486. Zero 010486. All right, both players are ready. Game number 3. Let's get him started. Matt looking to seal this right now. Tommy needs to win to stay in. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Oh, trademark. Just right on cue as we're talking about Tetris licensing. Tetris trademark comes up in the countdown bot. That's like a 1 in 500 chance that comes up. Those of you who aren't in the Twitch chat probably have no idea what that means, but that's kind of fun. All right, Matt, with the 2 pushdown points. Now, don't go away after this match because the winner takes on MYLES, who played earlier in a Masters bracket. I will not give away what happened if you haven't watched it yet, but MYLES will... I mean, I probably will end up just giving it away because I can't help myself. Very impulsive. Tetris Tommy, 77,000. There's a Tetris for Matt, 74,000. These are best of 5 matches. The first player to 3 on their scoreboard next to their name is the winner. All right, a couple of good pieces here, an L and a J to help Tommy work this down. He's just got 1 row of garbage to uncover over that well. Me trying to keep a secret. Well, I can keep a secret, but to me, spoilers, I don't care about spoilers. I'm very good at keeping secrets. Like I don't really tell secrets. But spoilers is not a secret. Spoilers is just like, you know, get over it. It's a live sporting event in my opinion, but all right, Matt needs a burn here. Takes a triple on the right side. He thought he was going to maybe take another one. No, takes a double. Going to build out that left side. Well, he's got a shot. Oh boy, that's going to be tricky. Oh, takes a nice triple to bring that down. And he goes for the S-spin and nails it and gets a long bar down for a Tetris. Great right side there for Matt. Another Tetris, 210, 165 for Tommy NTG. Andrew Meep says the seed is particularly trolly. Matt 233, Tommy gets a Tetris 210. So the lines are tied and Matt is up by a Tetris. Yeah, Zelazao, he says when it was hearts over numbers, it was obvious if it was BO3 or BO5. Yes, that's true. But I like giving people the opportunity to ask, right, in chat. Is it best of 3? Because now it's engagement, right? See, it's really just engagement farming. All right, Matt getting kind of square, little mini run of squares there. And he had no good place for him, so ended up putting him in the middle, created a dependent board, which ended up spiring, so he's going to have to bring this down. All right. 326 for him, 304 for Tommy. All right, let's see what Tommy's going to do here. Oh, he's going to set up for the column for Tetris. We'll see if he gets the bar in time. If he has my luck, he won't. But he's got Tommy luck, so he does. And he's actually going to adjust that S piece, knowing the bar was coming in. He was going to try to take a burn or cover that well, but he knew the bar was coming in. He knew he gets a Tetris, so he could transfer that well pretty cleanly. Good move for Tommy. 375 for him, 378 for Matt. Takes a skim, gets a Tetris. Matt, 403. Tetris Tommy 400, so we're same lines and apart, separated by what, 3,000 points, so super close. All these games have been pretty darn close. Tetris for both. Zoltan is here, the no-row champion. Josh Camo is here. Welcome, YouTube. Tears of the Wild Run is here. Luke Ezheda is here. Welcome to our friends on YouTube. Yeah, Matt here in the 32nd seed made it in virtue of making the semis last month. Players who make it to the semis get an automatic berth in the tournament, no matter what their qualifier is. As long as they submit a qualifier, they are in. So Matt getting saved by that rule this month and is up 2-0 in round 1. So certainly not undeserved no matter how this goes. 522 for Matt, 457 for Tommy. All right, Matt's board getting a little bit high on that left side, and he's going to just have to bring this down. Try not to transition awkwardly. Okay. Now, Matt would love a quick bar, trying to build out that left side. Long bar over Tetris. Matt gets it. Using that S flat and a Tetris, a great combo for Matt. 579, 491 for Tommy into 19. Very, very smart DAS players. Study that sequence for Matt Martin if you want to learn Tetris. That is for sure. That was a very good sequence. 497. Tommy, 604 for Matt. There is a Tetris. Matt, one of the few players, one of the only 10 players, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with a 1.3 million PB with DAS. All right, let's see what Matt can do here. A little bit dependent. He's going to uncover that right side. He's going to take that down for a triple and just work this stack down. He's got a 142,000 point lead. Kind of going for a dirty Tetris, a little risky bisky. And he's just going to try to bring this down. And one more needed to, well, all right, he's going to have to cover here. Dependent again. Long bar in. Oh, he's going for the dirty Tetris and gets it. 680. Oh, he's just toying with us. 545 here for Tommy. Long bar over Tetris in the column 10 for Tommy. Matt is ahead by 130,000 points. All right, a little bit of an adjustment there for Matt. Had to regain DAS, I think. Long bar over Tetris for him. Maybe he got the wall charge. 110,000 point lead for Matt. And we're running out of time here. Just about 50 lines to go until that level 29, which is a DAS kill screen. Basically, Matt might have got a couple of quick taps in there on the left side. And Tommy is set up for a dirty Tetris. He knows he's got to be efficient, and he's trying to get these now. Sometimes what you see are players, oh, they realize they have to be efficient, but they realize it too late. Tommy knows that he's behind, and he's going to have to get these Tetrises eventually. Matt with the left side, unsurvivable. That's going to be a top out at 790. So the target for Tommy is 791. He's got runway to do it. 791 is the target. Matt was ahead the entire way, and that is really DAS. Just one misdrop, and that can end a promising DAS run. It looked like Matt was on his way to win that. So Tommy really just one away, and a long bar over is going to seal it for Tommy. Tommy's going to salvage a game here and force this match to continue. So GG's to Tommy. Watch him mulling it out here if he wants to. Go for the max out. Might be a little, now with that misdrop, probably not going to happen. All right, Tommy is good. We got ourselves a match, everyone. New pieces, players 5-6, A7, A2. The winner of this match does play MYLES. MYLES the Great. So all these potential, all this current matchup, all the potential matchups, pretty hype. 5-6A, 7A2, 5-6A, 7A2. Both players are good and ready. MYLES the Grape, indeed. All right, let's get him started. Game number 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, it looks like Matt, it was cruising there. 100,000 point lead, just about 30 or 40 lines to go until 29. And it's just, one misdrop really for a DAS game can do it. And that really illustrative of how tricky this play style is to play in a competitive match with only a best of 5. I mean, that's the other thing too. You know, players, you know, like if you look at the PB leaderboard for DAS, you know, 2 players can have a 1.2 and be separated by like 50 spots on the leaderboard. All right, so S pieces, both of these players, nice burn there, 200 IQ burn there for Matt. But, oh, and Matt, wow. The game loves S's right now. Matt had lost DAS, but he was able to slow tap a piece over to that right side enough. Oh, my word. $137 for Matt, 96,000 for Tommy. My word. Yeah, tons of S's here in the beginning, and you could see it really affected Matt because it started to spire those S pieces, and he got the hint early that more were going to be on their way, and he wouldn't be able to accommodate him. So did a great job of finding other places for those S pieces and surviving. 163 for him, 128 for Tommy. Tommy looking to win this game to force a deciding game number 5. And the S piece is starting to come down again. Like, what is happening? This is tough. This is a tough sequence for these players. All right, there's a nice Z piece to help work this down, but this is not a good spot for Matt. He uncovers that right side long bar over. Survival here for Matt Martin. Holy mackerel. A masterclass in DAS survival from Matt Martin. 205 for him. 167 for Tommy NTG. This is a match to watch if you are an aspiring top-level DAS player, because Matt is really putting on a display. 214 for him, 191 for Tommy NTG. I mean, a display in getting into trouble and getting out of it, which is a skill, you know, like getting out of trouble is important. Now look at these placements for Matt. Very good awareness of that right side well and how pieces can get over. Keeping that double well instead of playing too flat over there in column 9. Some excellent choices here from Matt. I wish I could remember to play like this when I'm playing. 264 for Tommy NTG, 285. Now 308 for Matt after a Tetris. Thanks, everybody, for watching DAS Masters 120 on Twitch. Man, I really appreciate y'all coming out and watching this. It's a labor of love, really, this DAS Masters tournament. It was important to me to try to keep competitive DAS alive and start to create a scene for it. It looks like we've been successful in doing that. There's now a whole classic Tetris, DAS, or whatever is it called? DAS, what is it? DAS Champions League. And, of course, the Jonas Cup, we did that. We made our tournament in anticipation of that Jonas Cup, give players a format to sort of get ready for that. Man, it seems to be working out. People are coming out for these DAS tournaments. $425 for Matt, 381. And the other thing I like about it is it, you know, keeps some of the players who might otherwise just not be in a position to roll or something like that. A place to remain competitive, or players who are otherwise rollers or whatever, and they want to take a break from rolling and still, you know, kind of keep their competitive chops. They have a format. You see that with Fractal, who's kind of just playing DAS recently. And you got Pixel Andy, who is taking a break from rolling, still continuing to be competitive and keep a hand in the scene. So overall, I think DAS Masters has been a screaming success, and I want to thank everybody who helped make this possible. And speaking of making this possible, if you want this whole thing to continue, we got to have that prize pool. CTM.g. I'm sorry. Use the Matcherino command in chat if you're watching live. Bring up that DAS prize pool link and, you know, flick in a few dollars if you like what you're seeing and want these players to return. 503 transition for Tommy. 543 transition for Matt. Matt setting up column 7 Tetris. See if he can get something in time. Kind of selling out now. Oh, no. And Matt kind of gambling on a bar. The bar doesn't come. Kind of maybe regretting the gamble here. Target is 546 for Tommy NTG. We'll see if he can get their long bar over for a Tetris. Means, yes, Tommy is good in game number 4. We've got ourselves a decider. And that's going to be a reverse decider because Tommy was up. Matt was up 2 games to none. So that is going to be a decider in reverse. So yeah, Matt getting a little gambly there. Now he's got to... If you need a moment, you can take a moment. Feel free. Let's get these players some pieces in the meantime. B4 for A9F. B4 for A9F. So it started out, it looked like Matt was going to be kind of cruising to victory, up going 2 games to none, looking very confident. All of a sudden is now a decider. At the very least, guys, go ahead and hit those contribution codes. We still got 7 codes over on Matcherino for DAS Masters, so please, let's try to get that done this stream so I can stop harping on it. All right, both players have got their readies on. Do they have the seeds? Yes, B44 A9F, B44 A9F. Yes, serial number with a 509 contribution. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Serial number right on cue. All right, it is decider time. Tommy NTG, Matt Martin, the winner, goes to round 2 to face Miles in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Thank you again. Serial number. Javanti with the coupon code. Zohassiter. 5 left, guys. It's the bare minimum you can do. If you want DAS to continue, let's get those codes done. Oma Red Star saying, go Matt. All right, Tetris for Tommy, 30,000. Matt waiting for his first Tetris. Needs to uncover the right side. Gets pieces over to the left to do it. Now looking for the bar. Gonna take a skim here. Long bar over. First Tetris on the board for Matt. 37,000 for him. Zelazawi with the $15 contribution. Thank you, Zelazawi, for the $15 contribution to the prize pool. There's another Tetris for both. Same line count, and Tommy is ahead by less than a Tetris. After this, the winner plays Miles, who has already played in a Masters preliminary earlier today. All right, Matt has a covered well and is dependent, so he's going to have to figure this out. Okay, a couple of great pieces here for Matt. Long bar over to the right. Great placement of that O piece. Matt going to take the burn here. Dependent in the middle. Long bar goes down for the Tetris. See what he's going to do with this deep channel here. All right, long bar goes in to bring this down one. And yeah, he's just going to take the split double. Not do anything crazy. Now he's open on the right well for the Tetris, but the left side of the board needs a little attention. And now he can get to it after that Tetris, bringing the board down. 162 for him, 159 for Tommy. Tommy gets a Tetris. And Tommy's going to go for that S-spin and get it. All right, Matt's board dependent again. Long bar goes in. Good placement of that Z on that left side. And kind of, that's the thing is Matt knows his limits, so you can see. Oh, and a dirty left well Tetris, 4 rows off the bottom, Matt. 198 for him. Tommy now in the lead, 232. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, you can really just see the limits of Das and Matt playing right to those limits. Maybe in the last 2 games, a little beyond those limits, but I mean, there's a lot to be gained from looking at Matt's games here. I might review it myself and just say, oh man, what am I doing different? I do watch these games and I try to anticipate where they're going to put their pieces. And when they don't put it, when they don't put it where I'm expecting, it's of interest. All right, nice adjustments here for Matt. He's going to get Tetris ready. That's going to buy him a Tetris. 292 for him. Tetris for Tommy, 304, 1 line apart and about 12,000 apart. Tommy in the lead. Matt not going to mess around. Just going to take that board down on the right side. Maybe he's going to set up on a left well. We'll see what he does. Yeah, he's probably going to set up on a left well. Oh, look at that. Nice skim and a Tetris and just 1 burn to get that well back over to the right side where it belongs. 351 Tommy, 321 for Matt. There's a Tetris Matt, 343. Now, of course, I don't have a quick tap that I can really pull off reliably. So these players can do, more than I can do in terms of where they can stack things. Tetris Tommy, 397, 344 for Matt. Long bar over Tetris Matt. Tommy's left side a little dependent, but going to get a long bar over to the right to bring it all down with a Tetris. Make that left side more accessible. Tetris Tommy, 445. Long bar Matt, 414. All 5 games excellent. No crazy early tops, like 30 lines in, which is great for a round 1 match here in Das Masters. All right, Tommy, a little bit of a board here, but getting it figured out. And actually, that's going to clear away a little more efficiently than I thought. Just 3 burns to get that away. 470 for him, 461 for Matt, setting up long bar column 9, building out the left. Gets 1 Tetris, 484. And another one for a 508 transition, respectable here for Matt. Pieces were not ideal for the way he set that board up, but he's getting it cleared away. 520 here for Tommy in 19. He's ahead by 11,000 points, back by 2 lines, so it's close. That left side for Matt. Oh, no, and now he's lost that, so he's got to figure it out, and he needs a piece. He's dependent, and oh, no, Matt going to top out at 512, and Tommy is going to come back with the reverse sweep. Matt went up 2-0, and Tommy comes roaring back to win 3 in a row, and Matt is just going to take a nap now. Matt's going to go to sleep. He needs a nap. He's going to sleep. He's just crawling up in the fetal position on the board. He's got a nice carpet, though. Yeah, that looks like a comfy nap carpet. All right, Tommy is the winner, and we'll be moving on to face MYLES in round 2. So, Matt, let's hope your qualifier this month is on point, because you got to get into that top 32 again. Great game from Matt. I mean, a lot to learn, and he did well. It just... a little gambly at some points here, but my word, top tier DAS here in round 1 for sure. All right, we'll be back in a moment with Tommy versus MYLES. We're going to run an ad here, and we shall return. All right, players, I am back. Oh, let's get rid of that decider. I mean, I'm rooting for one, but I want to presume. Excuse me. All right, players, I'm going to go ahead and give you some pieces now. D4 DC C1 Delta 4 Delta Charlie Charlie 1. Oh man, we get Miles on the screen. Viewership drops by 18%. Oh my word. Miles, you're killing our channel here. All right, I'm kidding. All right, folks, we have got two ready players. They are both on seat, I believe. D4 DCC1. Yes. All right, they are ready. I am ready. DAS Masters Orange Preliminary. I forget what letter it is, but it's round 2 of one of our DAS Master Orange preliminaries. Miles and Tommy NTG fighting it out for a spot in the top 16. The winner gets to face Fractal later in the month. There's a treat. Let's go 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And it is STO for these two players. Miles on the left side coming in at seed number 16 from the United States of America. Some of the most united states in the entire world. Centerwell Tetris for Miles. He's got a PB of 1.21 million, good for 45th on the overall leaderboard. And 43rd on the leaderboard is Tommy NTG, also with a very slightly higher 1.21 million. Seed 17 took out Matt Martin in round 1 in a reverse sweep decider. Pretty exciting match. And Miles here, of course, a perennial competitor in our Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. Made it into the semis and beyond. Total of 8 times, including 4 appearances in the finals. And looking to take down a DAS tournament. Miles, you know, of course, from social media. And if you don't, go ahead and look up Miles Tetris on all your social media platforms if you want to see some exciting and engaging content played on, of course, officially licensed Tetris games. 163 from Miles, 107 for Tommy NTG, former CTM Masters event winner and a runner-up in Mega Masters. I think it was 2022. I think it's 2022. Against Alex T. Spire here in the middle for Miles in the game, just not relenting with these Z's. I mean, look at all the Z's. Why does the game have so many Z's? 199 for Miles. He's dealing with it, though, and he's going to bring it down. Better to survive. He's got a small lead here, 203 for Miles, 178 for Tommy. Better to survive early on and fight to live another day. And just try to go all out. Oh, Miles with a little bit of an adjustment there. It's going to cause him to lose DAS in the middle of his stack. So I think he's probably just going to have to reset and try to just bring this down. Or not. Maybe he's just going to go. He went for a dirty there. Kind of gave himself a chance to get one. And the game just not very forthcoming with the bars right now. There's a bar for the dirty. Was that a dirty? I think it was a dirty. 2023? It was 2023. Seems like a million, whatever it was triple or a Tetris, it was dirty. It's why I kind of like having the flash animations on. That's a Tetris for sure, I know that. 261 for Miles, 271 for Tommy. Yeah, this is like classic Spire Monthly, this stream. Just all kinds of Spires being forced on players, like just S's and Z's. This is a DAS tournament, the play style that was really the quintessential competitive play style for nearly all the top players for the early years of competitive Tetris. Your Jonas and Harry Hong and Quaid and all those, Jeff, Boom Tetris for Jeff, all that. All played DAS. Very few players played anything else really until the rolling revolution of the tap revolution of 2018, really spearheaded by Corian and Joseph. And then the rolling revolution just a couple years after that. But this was the play style that won the first 8 CTWC championships. And of course, it's never won since. 325 for MYLES, 395 for Tommy NTG, and yet there is still a lot of excitement. I mean, that first match of this broadcast showed you how much excitement that this playstyle can bring. MYLES with a little bit of excitement, kind of spiring here, and needs something for that left side. He's going to take some flat burns here. 427 for Tommy. MYLES going to find a square for that left side. That's going to help. And just 15 lines away from that 19 transition for MYLES, so he's got to be a little bit careful about how he builds this up. Then again, you don't want to fall too far behind because there's limited runway to chase someone down. All right, looks like MYLES going to down stack here pretty nicely. He's got finally a normal looking stack for MYLES after 125 lines. And he's looking for a long bar, gets it. There's a Tetris into 19 at 394, kind of a low transition for MYLES, but he makes it. At least he's intact and surviving here. Oh, ad killer. Oh, today was a sad anniversary to remember when we lost Jonas 4 years ago. 452 for MYLES, 533 on 19 here for Tommy NTG. Of course, his impact on the game and a lot of things will be felt in this sport for a long time. 563 Tommy, 508 for MYLES. There's a Tetris Tommy, 588. Another Tetris Tommy, 617, 538 for MYLES. So MYLES starting to crawl back a little bit. He's back by only 49,000 from Tommy, but in virtue of having played up so high for so long, he is ahead by about 10 lines. So that's a little bit less runway should it become relevant for MYLES as we approach level 29. Board's starting to be a problem, but he's going to get a long bar over for a Tetris. He's back by about 50,000 points, and Tommy's is not anywhere near being Tetris ready right now. We'll see if MYLES can maybe get in a couple unanswered Tetrises here, would really help him out. All right, MYLES digging this out. He's back by, again, about 50,000 points, or a little less than that, actually. Tommy's setting up for a dirty Tetris. Just going to have to burn it down. Maybe he's going to try to reestablish, but the board might not, the pieces might not be accommodating here. MYLES trying to bring this down. We're just 26 lines away from 29. The basic, and basically the terminal velocity, the kill screen here. There is a dirty for MYLES at 701, so he's making it interesting. And he's got 17 lines to go. He's got 10 lines ahead of Tommy. Tommy gets a column for Tetris, and any additional Tetris Tommy can get right now. There's another dirty for MYLES, so he's keeping pace now. But really, he's back. He needs basically 2 Tetris worth of points, and there's Tommy with another Tetris. So Miles is back by 80,000 points, and I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do except for get a Tetris and set up for 2. So he's got to go no burns here. We'll see if he can get anything. If he can get a bar. Oh, no, he's going to have to take a burn. Plugs that well when the bar comes. And there is 1 bar down the middle. Can he get another one? It's not going to be enough, but he tried. There was an attempt. He did what he had to do, and you just got to gamble and hope that the game's going to feed you long bars when you need them. It didn't then, but he did what he had to do. 783 top out for Miles, and Tommy is good in game number 1. Oh, not a dirty. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I say dirty when I mean center well, because it's still kind of dirty. A little bit. Center well is cheating, guys, right? You don't want to be a dirty cheater making center wells. Matt Martin, thanks for the raid party of 7, by the way. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. DB1503, DB1503. Yeah, sometimes I do say dirty when I mean center well. I've said it multiple times. Wieneman is here on YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. Theotime, Frankie M. Hoback YouTube Blademan 17, welcome. The center well is untidy, not fully dirty. Yeah, that's true. It's merely cluttered. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's check the seeds. DB1503, yes, they're both on seed. They are both ready. And it is game 2. Miles looking to tie it up right now. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So the winner of this match does get the privilege of playing our number 1 seed in the tournament. That is Fractal, who is the reigning Jonas Cup. Speaking of Jonas, he's the reigning Jonas Cup champion. Jonas Cup is the kind of North American in-person DAS championship for Classic Tetris World Championship organization. I went to that event last year. It's probably one of my favorites. Not probably, I mean, it was one of my favorite events I've ever been to. And it looks like they're, going to try to make it an annual thing at the at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo in September or October, whenever it is. I'm going to try to go out to it. All right, Miles set up for a non-Tetris here with a well in column 2. Would not burn anything if he cleans it out, but it would fill out that left side. All right, he doesn't fall for the ghost burn. That can happen once in a while where you're so used to dropping a long bar vertically into, a bunch of pieces and you go, oh, well, clearly that's going to burn something, right? And it doesn't. Then you get fooled. And your timing gets thrown off. But Miles not going to get thrown off by that. He knew. Long bar Tetris for Miles, 146. Tetris for Tommy, 169. Same line count. Tommy about 1 Tetris ahead in points. Tetris is here on level 18 worth 22,800. It's the number of the level plus 1. And all of that times 1,200. If you want to keep track at home, that means level 19 is 24,000. Tetris Miles 222, 242 for Tommy. Then it increases, basically 1,200 points every successive level. Look at Vandy explaining Tetris for the millionth time. But, we do occasionally get new people, and it's, nice to be reminded of the basic facts of Tetris so you can be conversant with them. 311 for Tommy, 268 Miles. McMonkey says, I'm new, but I retain none of that, so looking forward to the next time. See, repetition is good. You'll remember next time. Tetris for Miles, 296. 341 for Tommy. Tommy's ahead by about 2 Tetrises worth of points. Good flat board here for Tommy. Long bar over Tetris, 365. There's one. Miles, 322. Here on Twitch, we're at 90. We're almost at 9,800 followers. We're 6 away from 9,800 followers. So if you're watching and you're not following the channel on Twitch, consider following. About 90% of the streams on this channel are now going to be Masters level, so either DAS Masters or Masters events, so the lower tier tournaments are community restream now, so if you're concerned about, too many channels showing up, well, it's always going to be super high quality Tetris, or nearly always when we go live. 393 for Miles, 458 for Tommy NTG. Nobody wants to watch like me versus Kingsman in the community tournament tier 7 finals, right? 486 for Tommy, 420 for Miles. There's a long bar down for a Tetris and another one for Tommy as well. So yeah, 6 followers away. I guess you're all following, you Twitch viewers. All right, Miles looking to uncover that. Well, long bar gets over for both of them. 8 lines away from 19. The speed will increase by 50%. Level 18 pieces fall from the top. 1 row every 3 frames. And at 19, it's 1 row every 2 frames. Marv says, well, if you both also do live commentary, I would watch that. Well, I do that sometimes, usually with our CTWC friends. Once in a while, they'll invite me over. We're into level 19, and this is a tough board here for Miles. He gets a long bar down for a Tetris, gets a tuck and another Tetris. So he recovers, maintains DAS. Amazing, 591 for him, 613 for Tommy. Miles got some cleanup to do. There's a Tetris, Tommy, 640, 593 for Miles. All right, so both players getting it straightened out here. Good boards for both. 677 for Tommy. Tetris for Miles, 634. Few lines apart and about a Tetris and a half lead for Tommy. He's going to pile on another Tetris. There's one for Miles. Into level 23. All right, Tommy with the delayed burn, but not getting a too wide, kind of 2 bottom piece there to complete that delayed burn, and that is going to kind of throw him off temporarily here, but he's going to get set up again, and he is now set up for a Tetris again, and Miles' board is a mess. It's getting high, that left side so high, not really accessible, and that's going to be a top out for Miles. 696 for him. Tommy is good, 775. GG's to both our players. Watch Tommy finish this one out if he wants to, but he is good. Miles on that short list of, you know, kind of best players who haven't won one yet. And, you know, enough time, he almost certainly will. You know, Tristop on that list. Miles on that list. I think Meme has put herself in a position to sort of do that as well. It was just a matter of time before we get Miles a Masters victory. Would love to pull out a DAS victory in the meantime, though. 956 top out for Tommy. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. Here they are. 9FA6D6, 9FA6D6. Miles has been to the Masters finals or Lone Star finals 4 times, and in the semis an additional 4 times, including 3 months in a row. So, you know, you keep putting yourself in a position to win, man, it's going to come eventually. I mean, Sidnev was on that road, finally took one down last year. All right, let's check seeds now. All right, 9FA6D6, 9FA6D6. Both players are ready. Tommy looking to seal it right now. Miles looking to win to extend the set. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. The LTJ. The Lone Tar Jwalifier. I don't know. What does LTJ stand for? Let's time out Gerald. Close, very close, but I agree. Let's time out Gerald. All right, a little bit of a dependent board here for Miles. He's going to burn this away. A bar would help him out quite a bit. And he's just trying to keep this open. 1 bar would clean this all up, but the game, I mean, the game just knows. The game, how does the game know? That's what I want to know. How does it know? Andrew Meep timed out Gerald Freeman for 1 second. Oh my God. The indignity being timed out by Andrew Meep. How far Gerald has sunk. Miles in a little bit of a situation here. Just never really recovered, hasn't been able to recover so far from kind of that awkward opening sequence for him. Long bar gets in, finally going to bring this down a couple levels. Another double is going to make this entire board accessible to Miles again. 71,000 for him, 94,000 for Tommy after a Tetris. So Tommy with the 1 Tetris lead. And Miles is dug almost entirely out of this. All right, there's a Tetris for Miles, 103. Head by 8 lines, back by a Tetris. Tommy gets a long bar over 4, Tetris 144. And another one, it's 166. Tetris Miles 150, 189 for Tommy. Tommy with it covered well here. Needs a couple of burns to get rid of it. Some nice adjustments here to make that happen. Miles with an S piece that's kind of playing havoc with his board at the moment. Opens up that right side though, enough for long enough to get a long bar in there. It's going to help bring this stack back down, get some points. He's back by just really like a Tetris is worth of points, a little over that. But not far behind at all. Well, Stack Attacka says, I don't think I've ever been as much in the dark about what could happen in this upcoming Tetris year. Deepest contender pool in this sport's history. I agree. I mean, every year really gets deeper and deeper with talent. Well, we will see what happens. Long bar over Tetris Tommy, 317, 85 lines, 231 for Miles at 86 lines. A little bit of a suffer pace for Miles, but not, not a world-beating pace either for Tommy. Tommy's going to get in a line spin. And he keeps that setup open for that J to fill in the middle of his stack, and he's just one line away from uncovering that well. There's a Tetris Miles 259. There's one Tommy 346. We've got 5 codes left on the Matcherino, guys. 5. There's at least 200 people watching. I gotta believe that 5 of you have yet to go over to that Matcherino. I mean, I have to believe it because logically it is true, mathematically. So if you want to get over to that Matcherino and just click those claim codes, finish them out for this month, I can stop worrying about it. Miles with a Tetris in column 2. Pumpy Heart hates it. 316. 401 for Tommy NTG. Thanks for doing a code. Stolen Short Sword. 4 more left. Tetris Tommy 447. All you got to do is click on that link. You got to 2-click login if you've got a Twitch or YouTube account. In the top right-hand corner, just click a button that says claim code. Real Bland, 25 cents. Claiming that code. Thank you very much. Tetris Tommy, 1 line away from 19 at 492. There's a Tetris for Miles into 19 at 388. A little bit of a suffer transition. But, you take what you can get, and you're just happy to be alive at this point, really, in a DAS match, especially with how it went early on. 2 more codes left. All right, 1 code left. Thank you, Rhea Kitty and Paul Wynn. All right, Miles trying to get set up for a Tetris 580 for Tommy. There's one for Miles. And there's the Tetris for Tommy. He's pretty close in lines. Tommy up by about 135,000. Tetris Miles. There's another Tetris Miles, so kind of coming roaring back. And it was ZV with the final contribution code. Thank you, everybody, for taking care of those. Appreciate it. I guilted you all into it. Another Tetris Miles, 587. There's one Tommy. So Miles now with about 50. Well, both players now with about 60 lines to go. A little less than that until level 29. Miles within 100,000 points now. There's a Tetris Miles 646. Tetris Tommy 733. So Tommy just looking to stay clean here. Miles trying to get as much as he can Tetris-wise. Long bar column 9, a little bit aggressive. He's going to have to take a couple of burn lines here and another burn. They're getting a little bit droughted. Long bar over Tetris Miles. And this is the tough part because you can do everything right and set up the correct, have the right aggression and know the situation, but pieces can drought you when you need to be scoring. 689 for Miles. Skim and a Tetris 724. Tommy's board not Tetris ready, so this is the opening that Miles, or one of the openings that Miles might need on the way here. He's within 60,000 points. Takes a skim here. Looking for a bar, another skim. Tommy now set up for a Tetris. Oh, Miles with a blocked well, 730. Long bar over Tetris for Miles, 764. He's within 25,000 points. Tommy gets a Tetris, though. About a 60,000 point lead. 17 lines to go till 29. Long bar over Tetris Miles, 800. He's within 1 Tetris, but he's also ahead by 4 lines. So same line count, and Miles back by about 60,000 points. So he's got to go pretty much perfect from here on in, or just hope something happens to Tommy. Another Tetris Miles 869. Tommy setting up long bar column 9, aggressive. Miles here trying to get a bar. And no, they're getting droughted. There's a bar over. And Miles is going to take it on that last Tetris. Tommy could not get the bar. The bar trolled Tommy in the window. Right there, Tommy topped out at 895, and that last Tetris is going to seal it for Miles, who is behind the entire way by basically multiple Tetrises, and Tommy could not get a bar. He had built up. Maybe he was kind of building up for 2. Couldn't get a bar, and there's the bar in the window to troll him at the end. So Miles is going to hang on and take a game in this match. Whew. All right, we got ourselves a match, guys. Adam Irish with the tier 1 sub, 9 months. Thanks, Adam. All right, new pieces, players. CEF71C, CEF71C. Didn't I transition like sub 400? Yes, you did. You did. It was like 380 something. Not great. I love Tetris. Is that crazy? I mean, I'm not, it's crazy. You think after so many years, I'd be like sick of it, especially as bad as I am, but I just love watching this stuff. It's so good. All right, let's check these CEF71C, CEF71C. Both players ready. It is game number 4, Miles and Tommy. Miles suddenly with new life. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. All right, Tommy setting up that T-tuck. Fun adjustments there from Tommy. Couple Tetrises on the board. Miles is going to get his first one. Yeah, what a game 3. Really looked like Tommy was going to outlast. Like all he needed to do is just kind of, keep scoring, get a Tetris here, and then Miles did what he had to do, and really it looked like he was getting kind of. I don't know. It wasn't a hard drought, but like soft droughted, where you just kind of, it's not necessarily like, oh, you just had some 30-piece drought, but you're just getting slightly fewer long bars than expected. And that was going to sink him in, but he was able to stay with it. So GG's to Miles in that one. All right, Miles board pretty high here. Long bar over Tetris, 80,000, 101 for Tommy early on here in game number 4. That T to the right can be a problem for Miles, and he's really all in on a bar right now, and he's going to top out. Oh, no, that left side was inaccessible. He had no burns, really, and that is going to cook Miles right there. So a valiant effort. And a great game 4. Really, all the games up until then were great. So Miles, though, heroism, not going to last into game 4. Tommy is good. And we'll be moving on. Moving on to face Fractal in the top 16. So GG's to Tommy and Miles. Good set. Thank you both for your schedule flexibilities. Miles, you'll have better days in Tetris. Maybe today not the best day, but you will have better days, my friend. Okay. I should have reported these matches, but I didn't. So let us go ahead and report these matches. It was 3-2, right? Tommy, the reverse sweep. But Tommy was on the brink of being out of this tournament. All of a sudden, in the top 16. And let me report this other one so we can get a look at what we're doing here. 3-1. Okay, monthly Tetris. All right, let's get a look at our bracket. We'll take you on a tour of the bracket. Come on. There we go. All right, so here's where we stand. Tommy took out Matt, Miles, and Miles, and it's going to be Tommy moving on to the top round of 16 against Fractal. This is how our top 16 is looking right now. We've got Tommy is in, Scooty is in the red bracket against Merker, the Finnish player. And those are the two that we've got established, I think. Just two DAS brackets so far, right? We'll just take you on a tour of the bracket so you can see the matchups. I think they're pretty exciting matchups. Anyway, on the bottom, the rest of the orange bracket, AV Geek versus Vance. Winner takes on Peak. Winner of that takes on Bendy. Blue bracket, Hidari versus Salted Sofa. Winner takes on Egg. And the winner takes on Dog. Bottom half, Tebanuku versus Somalian. Winner takes on Storm. The winner takes on Nenu. Last month's or the previous month's runner-up, Leo, going to take on JDH. Winner faces Poopy. And the winner takes on Eliash, one of the top-ranked DAS players. Wide versus DMJ. That's going to be kind of a hype matchup. Wide versus DMJ, then Tristop, then Pixelandy. So that's one to watch, that bracket for sure. And up at the top, this is a crazy one. Tetris Alex T. Rose making her debut. Winner of that goes on to face Sharky. And the winner of that faces Chillers, who somehow cheated their way into the top 3. I don't know how that happened. No, I'm just kidding. Chiller's good. And then Scooty took out Chroma, took out Scotto, and now as the 22 seed facing Merker. So we'll see how that goes. That is the situation. And when will we be back? So we got stuff like every day of the week, pretty much. Maybe not Wednesday, but tomorrow we've got Masters Orange. Tomorrow, Masters Orange Prelim B. That's going to be L, aka Trap Zone, versus Somalian. Winner versus Guafi. Then we got more DAS Masters coming up on Tuesday. That's that green bracket. In fact, we got 3 streams on Tuesday. We got one at basically Texas time, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That is going to be that's going to be a situation for me to deal with. That's for sure. I get a day off so far, at least on Wednesday. 2 more on Thursday, 2 more on Friday, and then 1 on Saturday. There's tons of Tetris here on Classic Tetris monthly Tetris on Twitch and on YouTube. All right. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Want to thank those of you who contributed to the prize pool during the stream, including Zella Zowie, Serial Number, Scott Gray. Really appreciate the support. And, of course, our patrons always deserve a shout-out. Scott Gray 76, K9 watching Tetris, Tackner is Corporal 381, shall be satisfied, Cacket 91, Jay in the window, Troy Dan, Kim S, Sticker, Double Sticker Club, and community level members. Thank you all. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Okay, so it's time to send you elsewhere. We will see you tomorrow with only one bracket, thank God. But where shall we send you? Classic Tetris Lead Champions Summit Finals is happening. There's Game Boy Tetris. All right, so why don't we do that? We'll send you over to our friends Classic Tetris League. Make me type it out every time. Sheesh. All right. League. That's how you spell league, right? All right, thanks everybody for hanging out. Really appreciate that. It is the same number of matches because you have to, it's 1 extra match basically. Before it was 15 plus 15, it's 2 extra matches, right? Because you have to eliminate 2 more players or 1 more. Yeah. So it's 30 matches versus 31 matches, right? 1 extra match because you have to eliminate 1 more player. Okay. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Say hello to Classic Tetris League. Take care. YouTube, thanks again for hanging out.